Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptomancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. And we are back again this evening with more Chaos Legion reveals and leaks from the MAV Discord channel. And I just want to make a note, as I was editing this video, there was an announcement on the MAV chat Discord that the QA test servers will be unlocked for MAVs this evening US time. So if you're watching this video as it's being published, what I would recommend is you may want to stay tuned to Twitch, because likely there will be some MAVs streaming the QA server release with Chaos Legion card reveals. So if you're watching this video on the December 2nd in the evening, you may want to stay up, monitor Twitch, and you might be in for a pleasant surprise as you're able to watch in real time Mavs get access to Chaos Legion cards. All right, on to the video. So what you're seeing on the screen is the card art for the new rare life summoner, and we can see here with what was leaked from Cryptomancer, the real Cryptomancer that is, that this is a summoner ability of +1 archery. And this is pretty significant. Let me bring up 2 points here for this new summoner. One is, if we look at the card art here, this summoner has +1 archery as this ability. Looking at the card art, there's really no correlation here between the summoner ability and the card art. So this is a little concerning for the water team if you're hoping for the water summoner dwarf to provide +1 melee, just based on the card art, because I'm not sure this card, when you look at it, screams +1 archery. So we'll see what the rest of the cards have in store, but just be aware that, you know, card art is not, I would say, canon here, right? So that being said, the +1 archery is significant for this summoner for the reason that if we look at summoners in the game today, we have Jotun, a legendary summoner with +1 archery, as well as other abilities, obviously. We have Prince Renan, another legendary summoner, +1 archery and other abilities. And you have Archmage Arius, +1 archery, as well as other abilities. And you have Selenia Sky with +1 archery. She's the closest to this life summoner. And Selenia Sky is also a legendary dragon summoner. You know, in this case, certainly a rarer card, only 943 of her beta cards in existence in the world, obviously, and it's selling for 900 list on the market. So this new summoner for life is definitely unique in that there aren't very many other summoners that are, I'd say, levelable and achievable for most players with this summoner ability. So that's good for new players for sure. One thing to note with archery in the game is it has disadvantages in that unless you have close range as a scenario objective or the close range ability on the card, once you hit the front of the battle, you can't really attack. So unlike Magic, where you can always attack. So it's definitely, from an offensive perspective, less effective than Magic in that it also hits shields first. But here's the interesting part, is that archery damage or DPS in the game is pretty inexpensive as compared to Magic. So this summoner, especially on the life team, could be very valuable in that the DPS that life could put up would be pretty substantial. Granted, it wouldn't be of the same caliber as Jotun, because Jotun also has blast and +1 health associated with it. But if you look at the average player, to be able to use life and get +1 archery for your units could be very cost effective, right? So if we look at some of the cards here on life, let us go there and let us filter on all cards. Just looking at the deck, you have certain standouts. You have the lone boatman with repair. So if you have archery units with shield, you can get repair at level 5 with a 2 base archery damage, which also includes snipe. So a very nice unit. Again, the prices have already shot through the roof on these cards already. Lone boatman, not so much. I mean, he's at $2.58 right now in the market, but other cards certainly have, in some cases, doubled in the last hour. But other cards of note, Pspringer, certainly very effective and cost efficient. You're getting 3 archery base with 5 BCX at level 3, so that becomes 4 archery damage for 4 mana, which is super efficient. Also with 5 hearts and 3 speed. So this is a really, really great card for the value. The cost now has gone up now. It's $6.75 a base is kind of the baseline at the moment. So that's jumped very quickly. But definitely a very solid card, especially with the +1 archery summoner. Also worth noting, you have the Silver Shield Sheriff. Comes at level 1 with 3 archery damage, 3 speed snipe, and 8 hearts. So very potent archery unit. 9 mana cost though, so somewhat expensive. And it gets 4 archery damage at level 4, which is 25 BCX. It's a little bit expensive now. 25 BCX is going to run you roughly about $7 a base, undiscounted, right, through bulk leveling. So that's about $150 card roughly to get to that base 4 archery damage, which becomes 5 with the new summoner. And then you have a really, I think the most impactful change here is the Crystal Smith. And I know Dwayne Cunningham was talking about the Crystal Smith just the other day, talking about how undervalued this card is. Just basically because at level 1 it's got a heal, and it's going to replace the Divine Healer in the life team for modern formats. But you can see here at level 4 at 25 BCX, not only does it have the tank heal, but it also has 2 archery damage base. So with the summoner, if you're able to get 3 archery damage with 5 hearts and 3 speed and a tank heal for 4 mana, that is a fantastic deal. It's dually effective, meaning you can do DPS and also heal your tank. So it's a very efficient mana cost card, kind of a staple for the life team, I would think, moving forward. So we've already seen this card jump up in price. I would say fairly decently. It's at $1.10 right now. I still think that is good value, even though it's an expensive rare for the Chaos Legion reward cards, just because of the utility of this card moving forward. And also from a alpha beta perspective, you have the Air Elemental, a really fantastic card. At level 2 with 3 BCX, or actually at level 3, it's really where it becomes valuable, I would think, is you've got, if you put the Air Elemental at the end of your lineup, at level 3 with 6 BCX, with this new summoner, you're going to be doing 4 archery damage with 6 speed and dodge. So if anyone's trying to sneak attack this unit that's not a magic unit, you're going to have problems hitting the Air Elemental and really causing frustration for any team that has sneak attack on the other side, as well as doing a lot of damage in the meantime. So laughing all along the way, right? So it's definitely a very strong card. Also very expensive, I think, at the moment. A base for that is $34 to $40. So it's definitely gone up in price here. And then you have from the Untamed the reward set for Untamed, you have the Evangelist, base 3 archery damage with snare, 6 mana cost. It jumps to 4 archery damage base at level 3 with 10 BCX. It also gets Inspire at level 4. Probably not as synergistic with a main archery team on life, but worth noting. And this card price is now per base roughly at about $13 to $14 at the time of this video recording, just a couple hours after these were leaked. So definitely a good card. And here's probably the card, other than the Crystal Smith, that's most affected for majority of players. This is the Hero of Beyond. This card was really neglected, right? This was an airdrop card for Untamed. It is epic. It has at level 1 2 base archery with 8 hearts, 1 shield, and close range. It gets last stand at level 3 with 10 BCX. But this is a great all-around card. If you don't have the air elemental, you can put this at the back of your life archery team. At level 3, 10 BCX, you'll be putting out 3 archery damage. You'll still have 2 shields, 8 hearts, and when you get to the front at the end of the battle, assuming you make it that long, you're going to get last stand, which is going to increase your damage, increase your speed. It's really just going to increase your health. It's going to make the Hero Beyond very valuable with that extra archery damage. You can see its price has already increased significantly. It's running between around $18 a BCX now, so that's almost a 2x in just an hour. And here, just I want to make a note again is, there's rumors that the test server will open up to Mavs here today, possibly later tonight. And this is again where I think there needs to be open information, especially on the summoners, maybe not so much on the Chaos Legion cards themselves because we can't buy or sell those, but summoners having this information before others have it in a marketplace is meaningful from a dollars and cents perspective. So for example, if I'm a Mav and I get in the test server first and I see that, if this wasn't already leaked and I saw that this life summoner had +1 archery, I could go on the marketplace, grab all the Heroes of Beyond for like $9, $10, and immediately 2x my money. And I understand it's a free market, but this is not free information at this point if only certain people are getting it. I hate to be on the soapbox, but again, if you publish it to all and then the market will do what the market does, that way you have everyone essentially doing like a stock market. When we publish information, we do it publicly. We don't allow for insider trading. In this case, I know crypto is not regulated as such, but we have real markets here in the game with real money implications. So it just makes sense to follow good protocol. And I'm disappointed at this point to see that they're going to go forward with the test server to the Mavs with no pre-release of summoner information to the general community at the same time as the test server opens. At least at this point, all indications is that's not going to happen. And I think that's a big miss on the developer team. And I'm a huge fan of the Splinterlands devs. If you watch this channel, you know how much respect I have for them and what they've done for this game. I just think this is a little lazy and is unfortunate if this is what happens. Let's see. But it looks like they're just going to open up the Mavs, and the Mavs are going to scoop up the cards and resell them, and it's not going to create goodwill amongst the majority of the player base with that situation. The other card that's impacted is Lensmaster, a 1-mana card, 1 archery damage, super value here for 1 mana. You're going to have 2 base attack with 1 health though. The key here is when you level this card up, you get abilities like Blind and Shatter for 1 mana, which is great. This is a card similar to the Grenadier in effectiveness, basically. With the Summoner, the Grenadier's base 2 archery damage with 1 health. If we look at that, it is a neutral card, and it's a little bit more costly, right, from a mana perspective. If I can find it, sorry. Grenadier. why can't I find it? I apologize. Here it is. So Grenadier is 3 mana cost instead of 1 mana cost. It does have a oppress base, but and it does get things like Snare and Blast, but also a really nice card for the life team moving forward. You know, it's very efficient at 3 mana. This would actually put out 3 archery damage with that new summoner. This card also has shot up in value recently, not specifically because of the life summoner announcement, but just in general. It's now $16 a base for the Grenadier, and just a short while ago, you know, that was a lot cheaper in the market. And I think really the reason for that is just the increased awareness around the effectiveness of Oppress doing double damage against tanks such as the Cube, Lord A, Peaceful Giant, etc. Just very effective. I mean, with the new life summoner against the Cube, for example, the Grenadier would be doing 6 damage around at level 1. So that's definitely very effective. When we talk about neutral cards that might be worth looking at in the marketplace here, you have your lower cost cards like Centaur and Highland Archer, which can very cost effectively get to 2 base archery damage, you know, pretty quickly. Here it's level 4 for the Highland Archer with an average BCX price of $1. So you're looking at to get to a 2 base archery damage, about $12 to $15, which is certainly reasonable. Centaur with Snipe can get to 2 base archery damage at level 4 as well for 12 BCX, which puts the card at about $40 to get to that level of performance. And I think probably the only other card worth mentioning here in the neutral is the Tower Griffin. I really like this card. I think it's undervalued as it is because it's a neutral card that allows for Protect. It doesn't really ramp up damage here, but as a utility card at level 5, you're able to put out with this new life summoner 2 archery damage and grant your entire team 2 shields through the Protect ability, which is very, very strong. You're not using a support role that's just sitting there doing nothing. You're actually doing archery damage plus giving your entire team 2 Protect. This card I think is very undervalued. It's a neutral card, 40 BCX to unlock that ability. The card is about $5 a base, so it's about $200 for the card, so it's not cheap. But the utility it gives you as a neutral card, especially for the life team moving forward, is very strong. Imagine, you know, a summoner that would give you +2 shields and +1 archery. How much would that be worth to you in a tournament or a battle setting? And there you have the Tower Griffin. One other thing worth mentioning, we already talked about the Grenadier, but Gargoyle Devil here, it's 7 mana neutral, which is pretty expensive, but I think it has increased utility with the life team now. At level 1, you're getting 3 archery damage, 2 speed, 1 shield, and 3 hearts, but you're also getting the close range ability, which allows you to kind of be that buffer between the rest of your archery units, similar to the lava launcher on fire. So this is, I think, more meaningful now for the life team. At level 3, you're getting 3 base archery damage, and that goes to 4 with the summoner. So very, very interesting proposition now. If you go to level 4, you're going to get Death Blow, which is situational as an ability. But again, not overly expensive. 25 BCX for this card is fairly reasonable. You're still at the kind of like the base price of 60 cents a base here for this rare Chaos Legion reward card. So that's roughly like $18 or so for a level 4 with close range and death blow with 4 archery damage and life. So definitely worth looking at, I would think. Its value probably in the game at least has gone up with this reveal. So that's really a quick synopsis on the new Life Summoner. I also want to show the Torrent Fiend, which was the first Fiend that has been revealed as part of the new Chaos Legion cards. Every Splinter will have a 0 mana cost legendary Fiend as announced by the devs, and this is going to essentially replace the neutral Furious Chicken in the beta edition. You can see here the effectiveness is quite nice. 0 cost, you're going to come with 1 attack base for this Fiend for water, which is already better than the chicken, obviously, at level 1. But what's nice is when you get to level 4 for this legendary, which is 11 BCX, you're going to get the benefit of the Headwinds ability, which is -1 archery for the opposing team. So that's very effective. You're going to get 1 attack plus the Headwinds support ability. So these new 0 cost Fiends, in many cases, getting them leveled up if you play in probably for level 4 legendaries, probably the diamond and above level will be important for sure. And the last card revealed here so far today is a legendary dragon monster, Zyvax Vul. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's an 8 mana legendary. When maxed out, you're going to be doing 3 archery damage, 3 speed, and 11 hearts. So it starts off at level 1 with flight and a new unknown ability here, which we're not sure of, which is the second ability, which we'll find out soon enough. It'll get close range at level 2, it'll get piercing at level 3, and it'll get death blow at level 4. It'll be interesting to see what this new ability is that it comes base with. But this seems like an interesting card. At level 2 with close range, it can act as a tank or an off tank and be effective when it gets to the front line. We'll see certainly what this new ability is. I think that will help define this card. But because it is legendary, even if you take out this new ability, close range, piercing, and death blow with 3 archery damage at the highest levels and high health and reasonable speed is definitely a reasonable card. I think we'll have to see if the ability, this new ability, puts it over the top. Well, so there you have it. Today's, so far at least, Chaos Legion leaks. Appreciate the time. If you have liked this video, please like it in YouTube. Hit subscribe to the channel for more timely updates. And until next time, keep stacking those stats. Breaking news. We just have test servers opened up and released to the Mavs. We are seeing Chaos Legion Madness Unleashed on December 2nd, 2021. Here are the details for the recharge ability that we just previewed in the video. Recharge allows a monster to attack every other round, but does 3 times the damage. Yes, that is right, 3 times the damage. So a very cool new ability. If you're watching this video in real time or as soon as it's published, check out Twitch, check out the Mav Discord. It is insanity right now. Christmas has come early.